Hey guys, my name's Garrett. In this video, we're going to count down the 13 most anxiously awaited moments in the final season of Game of Thrones. This will include characters reuniting and meeting for the first time. You might be asking yourself, why 13? Why not 10? Well, everybody does 10, and the name of this channel is G13 Entertainment, so what's 3 extra spots going to hurt? To kick things off at number 13, we're going to have a double reunion, really. We're going to have Arya reuniting with Gendry and with the Hound, because it's speculated that Gendry and the Hound are both going to be at Winterfell. There are many fans out there who are strong supporters of an Arya-Gendry romance and potentially them getting together. I'm not opposed for this, especially since they haven't seen each other since season 3 and they have both grown so much since then. It's also going to be very interesting to see Arya and the Hound reuniting, because it'll be the first time since season 4 when Arya left him for dead. And as far as we know, Arya still assumes that the Hound died, but we know that the Hound knows that Arya is okay from the conversation that he had with Brienne.
She's alive. Arya.
Who's protecting her if you're here?
The only one that needs protecting is the one that gets in her way.
Arya is also going to earn the number 12 spot on this list for her meeting with Cersei Lannister. As we know, Cersei is still on Arya's list, and it is speculated that she will have a hand in Cersei's death as foretold by the Valonqar prophecy. If this doesn't happen, it would still be pretty cool to see these two lock up again, just to kind of for Cersei to see how far Arya has come. In season 7, Arya was on her way to King's Landing to strike Cersei off of her list before she stopped at the tavern that Hot Pie works at and learned that Jon Snow is the King of the North now. So if it wasn't for that information, we probably would have gotten this meeting back in season 7. Number 11, we have Theon.
Not Theon! Reek! My name is Reek!
Reuniting with Euron Greyjoy in an attempt to save his sister Yara. This is anticipated because Theon's journey has been a long and torturous one. The guy has been through hell and back, and yes, he may have deserved some of it for what he did to the Starks, but he's certainly paid his dues. I would love to see Theon be able to take out Euron, save his sister, and be able to redeem himself. This happening would not only be a great turning point for Theon's character, but it also eliminates one of Cersei's allies. In at number 10, we have Melisandre and Arya. This has been something anticipated ever since season 3, when Melisandre looked into Arya's eyes and talked about
brown eyes, blue eyes, green eyes. Eyes you'll shut forever.
Last season, when Melisandre told Varys that she would be returning to Westeros because she has to die there. It would be very fitting if she dies at the hand of Arya. I know this is a strong theory out there right now. And even though we haven't heard Arya spell out her list in a while, originally the Red Priestess was on that list. And while these characters don't have a very strong history, Melisandre's words prove that they do have a future together.
We will meet again.
Coming in at number 9, this list wouldn't be complete without the Clegane Bowl. Sandor Clegane, the Hound, versus Gregor Clegane, the Mountain. We got a little taste of this way back in season 1, but the Mountain has gone through drastic changes, not only with different actor playing him now, but he's been zombified a little bit. So this will be very interesting. Unfortunately, because of the whole zombification with Gregor, that does make me worry for Sandor very much. I like the Hound.
You know who's coming for you. You've always known.
Coming in at number 8 is Daenerys meeting both of Jon's sisters, Arya and Sansa. As we saw a little clip in the teaser trailer, we see Sansa welcoming Daenerys to Winterfell. So I can't wait to see how the rest of this scene is expanded upon. It's also going to be interesting to see how Sansa and Arya react with Dany differently. I feel like Arya will get along with Dany, and Sansa probably not so much, because she is going to be hearing the words of the Northern Lords, who do not trust Targaryens at all. Arya loves Jon to death and will side with him no matter what.
Winterfell is yours, your grace.
In at number 7, we have Jon and Dany's final confrontation with Cersei. For obvious reasons, this is going to be a very important and climatic point in the story, and it is going to be Dany's and Jon's last human obstacle before potentially achieving the Iron Throne. Individually, Dany sees Cersei as the last true usurper to her father's throne, to the Mad King Aerys's throne. And to Jon, Cersei represents the death of Robb and Ned and the tortures that was done to his sister Sansa. Falling in at number 6, we have Bran and Jaime. Going back to the very first episode, Jaime was the guy who pushed Bran out of the window. Bran is pretty much gone, so the three-eyed raven that is in Bran's body is gonna basically accept what Jaime did. He might even just keep that a secret between the two of them because nobody else knows the truth except for Bran and Jaime and Cersei. So no, I don't believe Bran is going to have any hostility towards Jaime. I think this is going to be more of a comical moment than anything, just to kind of ease the tension. It might be a little awkward, but I think it's going to be a little more comical than anybody really thinks. Number 5 is a little unique because we don't have any human characters in this spot. In fact, we have Ghost meeting Drogon and Rhaegal. This should definitely be a scene that happens. If it doesn't, bullshit. Though it would be relatively short and not that important to the plot, it would be really cool just to see kind of a direwolf and a dragon come face to face. And there would be a lot of symbolism in this meeting as well with the union of the Targaryens and the Starks, of Jon and Dany, the direwolf and the dragon. You know, a lot going on here. These are the two animals that represent ice and fire, and it would be really cool to see this meeting happen. While the other entries on this list have been climatic and action-packed, number 4 is just going to be a little awkward. We have Bran and Sam reuniting with Jon to inform him about his true parentage after having relations with his aunt on his way home. Yep. That's going to be awkward. Number 3 is going to be another reunion of animals. Unfortunately, this is going to be the reunion of Viserion with Rhaegal and Drogon. It's going to be a sad one because you already know Dany's going to be there and the other 2 dragons are just going to see Viserion and just be devastated. Their hearts are just going to be broken. It's going to be a sad moment for sure. But at the same time, it's also going to be a badass moment because we're going to get some 2-on-1 dragon fighting scenes and it's going to be some awesome CGI moment. I've heard rumors about Jon and the Night King having a sword fight on top of the dragons. I'm not sure if that's legit, but if it is, that's going to be badass. Now these last 2 spots, it was hard for me to decipher which one should be last. Coming in at number 2 is Jon and Arya. Something we've been waiting to see since season 1. For those who read the books, you know, like, there is so much more detail about Jon and Arya in the books, and this is a reunion that everyone is waiting for. I was so close to putting this at number 1 because of the relationship that Jon and Arya have. Unfortunately, we only got to see a glimpse of that in the very first episode before Jon goes to the wall in episode 2. We also probably have Jon to thank for Arya not completely abandoning who she is, because he was the one that gave her Needle, and it was Needle that helped remind Arya of who she was while she was in Braavos. While it's not a badass dragon fight or some political drama, this is surely going to be a great tear-jerking moment that's going to, hopefully it will happen and the show won't pull like a George R.R. Martin and like kill one of them right as they're about to meet. That would be some really Game of Thrones shit. Damn it. And here we are at number 1, the climax of the entire series. Jon versus the Night King. This is going to be a retelling of the epic Last Hero story that we've heard so much about both in the show and in the books. And it's going to play out right before our eyes with dragons and direwolves and whites and all kinds of craziness and action. And it's going to be amazing with Jon and the Night King at the center of it. And the thing I hope for the most is that we get some type of backstory on the Night King. I'm almost positive the spinoff is going to be like a prequel story for the Night King, but I still feel like we need some type of a little bit of backstory on who the Night King is in this final season. This scene has literally been built up since the very first scene in the very first episode of the very first season of Game of Thrones, when we were first introduced to the Whites And then anytime we've seen a White Walker since then, or a White since then, or the Battle of Hardhome when Jon and the Night King locked eyes for the first time. This is what everything has been leading to. When these two finally come to a head, this will not only be a historic moment for the series Game of Thrones, it'll be a historic moment for television in general. Game of Thrones is one of the biggest shows ever made, if not the biggest, and this moment, this fight scene is going to be all-out war. It's going to be epic. Alright, that's going to do it, guys. For more content related to Game of Thrones, go ahead, hit that like button, hit subscribe. Feel free to check us out on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Patreon. It really helps us out over here. Thanks a lot. Have a great day, guys.